Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, surprise, I'm on camera. This is exciting. I think this is my first on-camera video on my channel. I did an interview with Michaela Renee over on her channel where I was like face-to-face with the camera. If you haven't seen that, I'll have that linked. But this is my first video being on camera for the coloring channel, so this is exciting. Hi everybody. So today I'm going to be filming my reading book haul that I got for my birthday, which was last month. I asked you guys if you'd like to see it because I thought it was going to be too long to include it with all of the coloring stuff that I got, and I know this is super off topic, so if you obviously are subscribed for coloring book content, then this may not be up your alley, but I did have a few people who said that they would be interested in seeing the reading books that I got. If you guys didn't know, reading is a really big hobby of mine next to coloring, so I'm super excited about all of the books that I got for my birthday, and so I just want to say a huge thank you if you purchased one of these books for me off of my wish list for my birthday this year. I really appreciate it. I'm starting a tiny library here. Hopefully I will have more bookcases to fill up in the future. But yeah, I got so many books, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into sharing them with you, and please forgive me if I'm really terrible at being short and concise with synopsises, or if I don't even know what the book is about. I'm somebody who really likes to go into books blind, but I'm going to do my best at trying to give you some sort of idea of what the book is about and not just be like, here's this book and I got it for my birthday, but I might be saying that over and over. Alright, so, that's my cat. Alright guys, let's go ahead and jump into the haul. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start off with some books that I purchased for myself right around my birthday, right before my birthday, and since I got them, I just figured I'd throw them in and share those with you guys. So I think Target and Amazon and a couple other places that sell books were doing a buy two, get one free, so I went ahead and picked up 3 different books. So the first one is Normal People by Sally Rooney. So this is actually on my TBR for November. I took it on vacation with me, but I didn't get a chance to sit down and read it. So hopefully I will still get to it this month. I have like a week left, but we have some time off for Thanksgiving. So hopefully it's pretty short. It's a very short book. Hopefully I will be able to get to it. I've never read anything by Sally Rooney, and I've heard a lot of good things about Normal People. I believe it's a contemporary romance, and maybe light on the romance, as in I feel, or I've heard that it's a very realistic take, and kind of hard to read, very relatable type of thing between 2 people. I don't know if we get both characters' point of view. Hopefully I like romance books where we get to see the female and male's point of view, or just both the people in the relationship's point of view. But yeah, hopefully I like this one, and I'm really excited to get to it this month. Next, I picked up the limited edition or special edition, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So this was, collector's edition, special edition. I'm not sure exactly why they decided to come out with a new one, but it has the blue jacket. This isn't my first copy of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I got it when it first came out, and it was actually the book that made me get into reading this year, back in January, I believe, or January. But yeah, this is the first like physical book I got back into reading this year, and I fell in love with this book. And when I saw that they were coming out with the collector's edition, I saw it in the store and I didn't get it, and then I instantly had buyer's remorse, and I was just like, I need to go back and get this book. Like, I thought about it, and then once they were having the 2 for 3, I was like, okay, definitely getting it. So it has the blue dust jacket, and then a stunning cover on the actual hardback. I Remember You. Breaks my heart. Gold foiling. It's really pretty. The end pages look like this. And then this one also has a letter from V.E. Schwab. And it also has hand-drawn images like this in front of some of the chapters. So if you haven't heard of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, it's basically a fantasy historical fiction romance type of book. It's super amazing. It follows Addie, our main character, who makes a deal and ends up being forgotten by every single person that sees her or that she meets instantly as soon as they look away from her. So no one can remember her, and she goes about her life with this curse until one day somebody does remember her after meeting her. And that's all I'm going to say. It's an amazing, amazing book. I fell in love with it, and I definitely recommend you read this one. Okay, so the next book I have is Kingdom of the Cursed by Kerri Maniscalco. This is the sequel to Kingdom of the Wicked that I read this year. Absolutely loved that. I'm so excited to read this one. I hear this one dives more into the romance. Kingdom of the Wicked was about witches, princes from hell, mystery, magic. It was really good. I'm really excited to read this one, but before I do that, I think I'm going to go back and listen to the audiobook, because I've heard the audiobook for Kingdom of the Wicked was really good, and I physically read that one, so I want to get a refresher anyways before I jump into this, and I'm so excited. Okay, so that was all of the books that I got, the 2 for 3 deal. So now everything else I'm going to show you is gifts for my birthday. So the first one I have is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, and I actually have already read this. This was something I wanted to read in October, and I was on the hunt for it to buy it in person, and I couldn't find it, and then I ended up getting it for my birthday. So I immediately read it that month in October, and I wasn't the biggest fan of this. So this book follows our main character, Alex, who ends up being given a full ride scholarship to Yale, and it turns out that the people who give her the scholarship are part of a paranormal type of society, underground society at Yale, and she's kind of tasked with policing these societies that do these paranormal activities on Yale campus. So it's basically a paranormal murder mystery, so it sounds really cool, and it was definitely really cool to read in October because it had ghosts and magic and, you know, dark academia for sure. I didn't love it all that much, but the ending was really good. I think I gave it like 3 stars. This is Leigh Bardugo's first adult book, and I think it was good. Like I said, I just wasn't the biggest fan. I was expecting to like it a lot more than I did, but I still recommend it if that sounds like up your alley. Not horror, I wouldn't say, but definitely like a thriller murder mystery with paranormal twists. So yeah. All right, next I have Black Sunshine by Karina Hall. This is a spicy adult vampire thriller tale romance book. I'm not completely sure the synopsis of this one. All I know is that I think the take on vampires in this book is different than anything else that I've read. I believe the female is a vampire and that she doesn't actually know she's a vampire. I'm not sure how that exactly works. She's maybe born a vampire and then she has to kind of like be awakened and then trained on how to be a vampire, insert love interest. And it's a modern tale, so I think it takes place in San Francisco. I could be completely wrong about that. But yeah, modern day vampire spicy romance. I'm super excited to read an adult vampire love story because I've yet to read something like that. And I'm a big vampire fan, so I'm super excited to dive into this one. Next up is The Surviving Trace, and this is by Kalia Reed. This is book 1 in the Surviving Time series. I didn't know it was a series. I was recommended this book from someone on YouTube, and they basically pitched it as like a time jump, time trap romance. So this woman is stuck in time and trying to get back into her current time. That's very confusing. To get back to her husband, but her and her husband kind of have issues and stuff, but she still needs to get back to, you know, her current place in time. And while she's lost in time, she meets someone who's not a complete stranger to her, and he's going to help her get back to her husband, and I think they form some sort of relationship there, and you know, drama, romance, time. I'm not sure exactly what place, what time period this takes place in. I don't think it's modern day. 1912. So 1900s. I'm really excited to read something that is not modern, and this sounds really interesting. Next up is Fate, A Fate of Wrath and Flame by K.A. Tucker. So this is super interesting. I don't know a whole ton about this, and I don't want to read the whole entire synopsis. Personally, for me, I just feel like synopses give way too much about the book up, and I like to go in as blind as possible, maybe like briefly knowing what the book is about. But I believe this one is about elves and their realm, and it's enemies to lovers or like fake marriage. She's betrothed. She ends up having to get betrothed to the future Elven King, and they end up having to work together to get her home, and, you know, end up falling in love along the way. So we'll see. Maybe she gets turned into an Elven princess. I don't know. It sounds cute. It sounds fun. It's an adult romance, so I'm sure it'll be spicy, and I'm really looking forward to reading this one. Next up is The Spanish Love Deception. So I am so excited to read this book. I have heard nothing but amazing things about The Spanish Love Deception. This is by Elena Armez. And again, I know absolutely nothing about this book. I think it's fake dating, enemies to lovers. I hear the love interest in this is absolutely amazing and goals and completely unrealistic to something you'll ever find in real life. You know, earth-shattering expectations of men out of this man. But we'll see. This looks really long for a romance. Most of the romances I read aren't this long, but we'll see. I've heard really good things about it, so I'm super excited to jump into this one at some point, and excited to have a physical copy because a lot of the romance books I read are audiobooks, so it'll be nice to read a contemporary romance physical copy. Next, I was gifted another special edition of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is actually the Owlcrate special edition. So showing you the back there, that's the special edition of the Owlcrate. Never pray to the gods that answer after dark. Stunning quote from the book. So this one looks like this inside, the end pages, and it's also signed. So this is a super special and amazing gift. So now I have 3 copies of The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and I'm not complaining. Like I said, I love this book, and this book means a lot to me for getting me back into reading. So I will always have a special place for Addie LaRue in my heart, and I'm super honored to own this copy too. So speaking of V.E. Schwab, I also have The Near Witch. Not sure what this book is about. Again, once I read Addie LaRue, I had to go and read all of V.E. Schwab's books, and I've loved pretty much every single one of them, and I want to own all of them, so I knew I needed to get Near Witch. I think that this is possibly young adult. I'm not sure if this is adult. I think it's about a folklore tale about a woman who steals children. That's all I think I know about it. I could be completely wrong, but I'm excited to own another V.E. Schwab either way, to add it to the bookshelf. Like I said, I would love to have all of her books because I think she is an amazing author. So that is Near Witch. Next is another book I am so excited to read. I have been wanting to read this for months and months and months. Another really short read. I'm sure I will probably devour this in a day. This is A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. So what I know of this, or what I've been told about this, is that it is a Dracula retelling of Dracula Brides. So it takes the point of view of one of the brides of the polyamorous relationships that she is in with Dracula and his other brides. Apparently it's stunning writing. It's really beautiful. You know, a look into a toxic relationship, and I'm, you know, very excited to read this. Again, love vampires. I like this twist on Dracula, and I can't wait to jump into this. I'm surprised I haven't already. I just have so many other things to read and do, but this is definitely probably going to get read in December. Next, we have Starfish by Akemi Akemi Dawn Bowman. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. So this, I believe, is a young adult contemporary that follows a young girl coming of age story, I believe. Trials and tribulations with her family and friends and just life in general. So your typical, I don't know if it's typical, but you're just, young adult contemporary. Other than that, I know nothing about it. There could be more, but I believe it's just that modern day coming of age story. So I've heard really good things about this. I hear that it's pretty hard hitting, so I'm really excited whenever I want to sit down and be in the feels, feeling like I want to, connect to growing up again. Definitely looking forward to picking this one up. Next up is Fangs, and Fangs is by Sarah Anderson, and this is actually a graphic novel. So Fangs is about a vampire and a werewolf falling in love. Again, another book I could probably devour in one sitting. Vampires, it's my thing. I really like fantasy, romance, love, vampires. What could be better? If I can get my romance with a side of, mythical characters, I'm all for that. So I'm sure this will be really cute. And honestly, I just think the cover art is stunning. Once I have more bookshelves, this would be definitely something I'd want to front display because it's so pretty. And it's like a material cover. So yeah, this is super cute and going to be a really fast and fun read. Another stunning cover of a book is Wuthering Heights. So I've been saying I want to read some classics because I haven't really read any. And I think that the two that I have here to show you, or three, the ones that I thought would be most interesting, and they actually all got purchased for me for my birthday. So I have 3 new classics to read, Wuthering Heights being one of them. I don't really know too much about this. Gothic, possibly fantasy, I'm not sure. It's going to be exciting to read this nonetheless. So whenever I get to it, I'll let you guys know what I think of some classics. Next is 3 Dark Crowns by Kendra Blake. So this I think is one of 7 books, 5 books. Yeah, 5 books in this series. It is kind of like Hunger Games, but only between 3 women. So I believe that they're 3 sisters with, one birthright for the crown, and they have to compete against each other to find out which sister is going to be the next queen. And very excited to see. Sounds just like a super fun, interesting little story. Hopefully I like it. I like that, even if I don't want to end up picking up the entire series, having the first book and then I can go back and listen to the audiobooks for the next ones. But, I don't know. I think I've heard that this series is really top notch, so I'm excited to jump into this one. So the next book is Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. So the last 2 books, this one and the next one, are the other 2 classics that I've got. I've seen the movie a few times and I've enjoyed it. So I definitely thought, okay, Pride and Prejudice is something I need to read when it comes to classics. Romance, hopefully it's a good time. Everyone seems to enjoy this book. I don't see why I won't. I know that there's a lot of stunning covers of Pride and Prejudice, so hopefully I don't fall too in love with it, because I feel like it's definitely a classic that you can get obsessed with and getting all of the fancy covers. But this was just one that was on Amazon. So that is Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice. And last but not least is this magazine of a book. I had no idea it was this size when I added this to my wish list. I just thought the cover of this copy was cool. Again, another classic that has a billion awesome cover arts. But this is Dracula by Bram Stoker. This is the unabridged illustrated version of the Dracula story. So I'm not sure exactly if that means there's a lot of extra content. There are photos in here, but they're not drawn. They're real pictures. I don't know if that's from the movie or something, but yes, it's a really big book. I just sitting here large print. My vision's not that bad, but I just think it's silly that it's this big. But Dracula was another classic that I really wanted to read at some point, so maybe I'll get the audiobook and follow along with this. We'll see what happens. But that is everything that I got for my birthday when it comes to reading books. I know it was a long video, and hopefully I edited that together somehow that made sense. I struggled a lot talking about the eye. Like I said, I have a really hard time talking about books in any sort of like coherent, concise manner. So hopefully that video wasn't terrible to watch. And I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what reading books I had on my wish list and what was purchased for me. If you guys have read any of these books, definitely let's have a conversation in the comments. Let me know what you guys thought of them. Let me know if you guys are interested in reading any of these books. And before I go, I did want to show, since it's like reading related, something my mom made me actually. She has been making me these book pouches, these book sleeves, and she made these. So you guys can get these on Etsy. Or that's where I got mine originally, was from Etsy, and then I showed it to her and I was like, can you make me one of these, you think? Because they're kind of expensive. And then she ended up making me a bunch of different ones. This one has like bees, and this one's Beauty and the Beast. And I just had to show you guys these because they were so cute. She even made a little like bookmark, like that match. The inside has stars on it, and you can use this as like a little bookmark in your book. And she's just so talented. My mom is honestly amazing and just wonderful. So I just really wanted to share these with you guys. That maybe if you are interested in, you know, these book pouches, maybe look into making them yourself. Like she was able to do it. My mom is a seamstress, but yeah, I just really wanted to share these with you and shout her out and say thank you for being so amazing and making me these. But anyways, guys, that is it. That is everything. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. I know it was off topic, but hopefully you still enjoyed. If you guys want me to talk about more reading content, let me know. I have a whole reading journal I can share with you guys. I can talk about my TBR every month, like the books that I've read. I read about like 10 to 12 books a month, so you know I have a lot of stuff to talk about when it comes to books, but I know that this is coloring book channel, so let me know though. I'd be more than willing to make videos that you guys want to see. If you aren't subscribed already, make sure you do. I would love to have you back on another video, and I will see you guys in my next one.